Ta-da!
Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in Lund, Sweden. For today's video, we will be playing Day 15 of Battle for the Borderlands. Our fight today will be between the Inner Circle and the Wood Elf Glade Guard. Let's go ahead and take a look at the warbands and take a look at the board. Here is our first warband, the Inner Circle from the Empire, led by our leader here, Isebrand Schwerner. Now, in addition to that, he has 3 Dogs of War. The first one has the spiky shoulder plates with the impact hits 1 special rule. The second one has El Grobus's Mask of Fearsome Renown, which gives fear to this rider. And the third one has the Horn of Ribald Tomfoolery, and this gives the bearer the Immune to Psychology special rule. So there you go, 100 points of the Inner Circle. For our second warband, we have the Wood Elf Glade Guard using the green dice today. They are led here by our ruler Thalcath, and he has the Dashing Cloak of Heroic Renown, which gives him a 5+ regeneration. His second Dog of War is handcrafted ammo, so no suffering long-range penalties. The third one, we have this Spearman, who has the Impact Hit special rule for the spiky shoulder plates. And then joining them, we have 6 more High Elf Spearmen. There you go, 100 points of Wood Elf Glade Guard. Here's the battlefield we'll be playing on today, a 4-foot by 4-foot battlefield set up with the cobblestone worn Forgotten Realm mat. We've got a couple houses and a couple settlements here on the outside with a strange sort of obelisk in the middle of that forest clearing. So there we go. This will be the space on which we play out our battle. Let's go ahead and roll for deployment. Glade Guard using the green dice and the Empire on the yellow. So the Glade Guard will deploy first. And here now is our deployment. We have our leader up here along with one of our Dogs of War perched up on that church tower. And down here we have all of our spearmen with our guy on the end who has his extra kit there. Across on the other side now, we have our deployment set up here. We split up our knights. We put 2 of them there, one with our leader, and the other 2 over on that hill. We'll see if they can go ahead and lead off some sort of charge. Let's go ahead and roll now to see who will begin the game. The Empire deployed second, so they will be given the ability to decide on a 1 of 5. And they do, so the Empire will make the first move. First turn, Empire. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is just march all these guys. Let's just take them right up into the face of these guys. We're going to leave them, 12 inches away from the average charge range of the High Elves. Let's go ahead and march them up. And there's their final position. Hopefully they can split around the obelisk and get some charges off. So that will be the end of the turn for the Inner Circle. Let's move on to Glade Guard turn 1. Okay, no charges to declare. We're going to do a little bit of a defensive move here and move these guys, some of them into the forest, maybe some behind the obelisk as well, in order to make the Inner Circle charge through the forest. So here's how things look now after the movement phase. We move these 2 guys behind the obelisk, so they're hidden back there. 3 guys over here in the forest, and over in this forest we put 2 more guys as well. Let's go ahead and roll for our Mysterious Forest. Starting here, we got a 2, and that is an Abysmal Wood, which means that this unit causes fear when they're in there and leave it. The second woods now, that's a 4, and that will be a Fungal Forest, which means that they need to test for stupidity when they are partially within the forest. Moving on to shooting phase, let's go ahead and shoot with each one of these guys right down here. We've got a line of sight right onto those 2 Inner Circle Knights. And you can see once again, nicely perched up here on top of this building. Okay, the guy on the left, we'll shoot on the left, and the guy on the right. We've got 30-inch Asray longbows, so these are strength 3 armor piercing. Let's go ahead and roll the first guy here on the left. He will be hitting now on a 4, and there's a hit. Wounding on a 4? No. Second guy here, no penalty for long range, hitting on a 4. Wounding on a 4? No. End of the Glade Guard turn. Let's run over here and flip it over to turn 2. Inner Circle Knights, what are you going to do now? All right, let's run over here and declare a charge. We are going to charge even if we have to charge into the woods. This guy on here, he will hold. That guy on here, and he will hold. Okay, here we go. The barding is holding us down 1 inch, so we need to roll a 5 on this one and roll a 6 on that one with Swift Stride. So let's start out with the guy on the left, rolling a 5 with Swift Stride. And he gets it with a double 6, and the guy on the right, he gets it with a 7. Alright, I went ahead and rolled a dangerous terrain test for each of them because they are charging through the woods. The guy on the left got a 1 and the guy on the left got a 4. So this guy actually suffers a wound with no armor saves allowed. So that is utterly amazing, and that is exactly what the Glade Guard was trying to do here with a strategy of pulling into the forest. So this guy suffers a wound and he is actually dead. So a pretty amazing turn of events there. We've got one guy left over here. Let's go ahead and do remaining moves with those guys. Alright, we're not going to charge because it's a long charge and it's also through woods, so we're just going to go ahead and move these guys their marching movement, and we will put them here into the middle of this clearing outside of the 12-inch average charge range for the High Elves. Okay, let's start with the Glade Guard High Elf here. He's going to be hitting on a 4, wounding on a 4, and there's a wound, 2+ armor save. Got it. Coming back on a 3. And he got it with a 4. Wounding on a 2 because of the strength with the lance charge. Got it. No armor save, so we will remove him. And this guy right here will need to take a panic test. And he gets it with a 3. And having won that victory, now he'll just turn a little bit like this and face that other guy. Pretty good round of combat and a good round for the Glade Guard. That was a terrible, terrible dangerous terrain test. But that's how it goes sometimes. Let's go over now and run over to the Glade Guard, turn 2. Alright, charges to declare. Let's go ahead and declare a charge here. Before we do that, now we need to take a stupidity test. We're in the fungal forest, and he is fine. So let's declare a charge there, and he will hold. In addition, let's charge from this guy over here. He will hold, and this guy as well, he will hold. So first charge, this guy has no problem getting in, automatic success. Let's roll for those two. First spearman here, on a 6, no problem. And the second spearman, double 1s. So double 1s, yeah, he is out of range, so he will just stumble ahead a single inch like that. And let's run over here to these guys. They're all going to charge as well. Remember, they're outside of their average charge range, so we need to roll fairly high. First one gets it with a 10, no problem. Second guy, an 11, no problem there. And the third guy, and look at that, a 9. So they are all above average chargers. That's how it will end up right there. All right, let's start off this combat here, and we have our spiky shoulder plates. So we have an impact hit here. Wounding on a 4, no. All right, elves attacking here onto this guy, hitting on 4s. There's one with ASF, no. Wounding on a 4, and there's a wound. We have a 3+ save, yes. And pardon me, a 2+ save, but he got it anyway. Knight coming back on a 4, no. And the steed also hitting on a 4, no. Last combat over here, let's have this guy, Glade Guard, and he hits on a 4, wounding on a 4, nope. Coming back now, let's do the rider and the horse at the same time. Hitting on 4s and wounding on a 4. There's a wound, 5+ save, gets it. And running over this last combat, High Elves, ASF, hitting on 4s. There are 2 hits, wounding on 4s. There is 1 wound. Do we have a 2+ save? Gets it. Coming back now, we have the horse and the rider. 2 attacks here. So hitting on 4s. There's 1 hit, wounding on a 4. No. And that brings us to the end of the Glade Guard turn. Let's flip over here to turn 3. Inner circle. All right, let's keep going on the combat. Everything is in combat right now, so let's go ahead. Glade Guard here, ASF hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, nothing there. Coming back with the horse and the rider, hitting on 4s, wounding on a 4, nothing there. Oh, no combat is working out here. Over this new one, no ASF, nothing there, and the horse and the rider coming back. Both of them hit, wounding on 4s. Got him. This guy has a 5 and a 6 save. 5+, no. So he goes down. Over to this combat now We've got 2 attacks, ASF, so rerolling misses, and wounding on 4s. We've got 1 wound, a 2+ save. This is huge, and he gets it. Knight and horse coming back, hitting on 4s, wounding on a 4, no. And so that is the end of that turn. Let's go over to now the Glade Guard turn 3. Charges to declare. We're going to charge with these guys. We're going to charge with him. So charging here, and let's see if we can successfully roll that off. With a 9, no problem. So he will come crashing in, join us in this combat here. And these two have come down from their perch to join the fight, and they will also make some charges. First one here, 2 inches. That is going to be close. We'll have to measure that out. And this one, no problem. And all of the charges were successful. Here is how that looks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elves on a single knight. All right, close combat phase. Let's go ahead and make these attacks. We've got 5 attacks now, let's double check. Yeah, only 1 attack from our leader, so 5 attacks on ASF, hitting on 4s. There are 2 more, and 1 more, wounding on 4s. And we've got 3 wounds. 2+ save, this is huge. Here we go. And he saves them all. Coming back, let's attack with the knight first onto our leader, hitting on a 4, no. And then the horse onto the leader, hitting on a 4, no. And over to this combat now. We've got 2 attacks from the Glade Guard, ASF, so re-rolling 2 6s, and wounding on 4s. And there was 1 wound, a 2+ save, and he gets it. Coming back now, the horse and the rider, each of them hitting on 4s, 2 hits, wounding on 4s, nothing there. And the combats just continue, bringing us to the end of that turn. Let's flip us over now to game turn 4, and we have the Empire. Charges to declare. Yeah, we will charge with this guy right here, and he will make it in no problem into that combat. So let's take this combat right away. Spiky shoulder pads, so impact hits, wounding on a 4. And we have a 5 or 6 save. No, so that guy actually is, boom, done before the combat even begins. Still needing to kill 2 more Glade Guard in order to drop them below their breaking point. Let's go ahead and take this combat right here. I've been forgetting the mask that we have here, so this guy actually needs to take a fear test, and he is fine. He does not fear. So attacking now the guy with the mask, and he hits him on a 6, wounding him on a 4, no. All right, let's start with this rider who is already in contact. He is going to be hitting on 4s, wounding on a 4, and we have a 5+ save. No, so he goes down. 4 kills, and we're getting close to that breaking point. Reforming after combat, and there is the next combat over there. All right, last combat here, Glade Guard. We need to make this happen. Let's do 5 attacks, hitting on 4s. ASF, we need to roll everything, hitting on 4s. Oh, terrible roll, only a single hit, wounding on a 4. Well, that's enough if he does not get his 2+ save. Roll a 1. No. Coming back 2 attacks, let's put it on just a normal spearman. And they miss both. All right, Glade Guard turn 5. Let's stick here with this combat. This is the only thing going on the board. All right, Glade Guard, we gotta make this happen so we can force a break test, a route test. Here we go, 5 attacks, hitting on 4s. Re-rolling our misses. Yes, 5 hits. Wounding now on 4s. And, oh no, only 1 wound. But we have a 2+ save. Roll 1. No. Coming back with the knight and the horse. Let's put him on just normal spearman. We've got to win some combat here. Hitting 1, wounding on a 4. No. All right, end of the Glade Guard turn. Run over here to turn number 5. We are getting close to 6. If we get to 6 without any definitive route test, we're going to have to go after victory points. Let's go here and have some charges. Let's go ahead now and charge in with both of those guys. We're going to send them both into that combat. 6s for both of them on Swift Stride. Let's start with this guy here. He gets it with a 7, and the second guy gets it with a 10. And they're their final positions. All right, this is the combat that's going to make everything change. Let's go ahead and have 4 of these Glade Guard attack into our leader. Hitting on 4s, re-rolling our misses. There are 4 hits. And let's see. Wounding on 4s. There are 2 wounds. Okay, leader, you got to roll 1s. No, he saves them both. And one attack here from the side going into this guy right here. And ASF misses that. Okay, let's start out with the two knights that charged. They're hitting on 4s. Oh, look at that, they both missed. They don't get their lance strength. Horses hitting on 4s. Those miss as well. Let's go to this guy right here, our leader, hitting on a 4. He gets it, wounding on a 4. Yes, and we have a normal 5+ save, so that does not work. This guy goes down. Glade Guard is still above its threshold, so no route test, but let's go ahead and have the Glade Guard come back, and for their turn 5, we're going to have this guy just charge to bring him back into base contact. Let's go ahead and carry out this combat. 3 attacks on the leader, hitting on 4s. ASF re-rolling. And there's 2, wounding on 4s. Nothing. 1 attack on that guy, re-rolling our misses. No, so we got starting with these 2 in base contact with that guy, hitting on 4s. Only 1 wounding on a 4 with a 5+ save. Got it. And our leader here going into normal spearmen, 2 hits. And he wounds 1 with a 5+ save. And he got that, so this guy will be out. That now drops the Glade Guard below their threshold, so they will have to roll on their next turn. All right, that is the end of turn 5. We are into our last game turn 6. We got to count victory points if nothing else happens here. So let's go ahead. Empire charges. This guy right here is going to charge into that combat. So let's start off with this combat we just charged into. The High Elf begins, ASF, re-rolling, no. So he has no success there. Let's go with the Knight here, wounding on a 4, hitting on a 4, excuse me, wounding on a 2 because of the great weapon strength. Yes, so this guy is removed. Overrunning, we will bring this guy charging right into base contact with a new combat, so he gets to fight again. Let's have these 2 Glade Guards put attacks onto the guy coming in. And re-rolling our misses. So there's 1 hit, wounding on a 4. And can he save that? Yes, he saves that. So coming back now, let's have this guy right here hitting on a 4 and wounding on a 2 because of the spear, and he gets him. Now that's our leader. He has a 5+ regeneration. No, so he's down to 1 wound. Other combat here, this guy attacking in. Rerolling his misses. There's a hit and wounding on a 4. No, coming back now. The horse and the rider hitting on a 5 and wounding on a 6. Do we have a save there on that Glade Guard? No save there, so we will take him out like that. End of that combat phase, and that brings us to the end of the Empire Inner Circle turn. So we need to go now and roll for a route test for the Glade Guard. Okay, here we go. Leadership 8. Let's roll this off. No, with a 10, they didn't get it. That was inevitable. They would have lost anyway. There's only 1 guy left, the leader, with 3 of our Inner Circle Knights left. So the last Glade Guard takes off and runs off the board. So that's how it stands now at the end of this turn. Let's go ahead and roll on the leadership chart for our Inner Circle leader. All right, let's go ahead and roll here. On the chart, and let's see, that gives us True Grit. Your leader gains either +1 strength or +1 toughness. Seeing as he has such a good armor save, let's go ahead and give him 1 more strength, so he's up to a 5. With that victory, the Inner Circle now moves on to round 3, in which they will take on the Sword Masters of Hoth. That should be a pretty good game because the Sword Masters are pretty strong, and with their great weapons they should be able to cut through that armor that proves so problematic now for the Glade Guard. So that match will be coming up soon. The next match will now be between the Goblins and the White Lions. Stay tuned for some more exciting battle reports as we continue on with this Battle for the Borderlands. Thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming, where Grey can always play.